Right now at 6, big changes could soon head to portions of I-44 to improve semi-traffic.
We got a pretty decent start to our Wednesday, and we'll start to see a few more rain chances out there. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door. Coming up.
Plus, the Newton County Sheriff's Department unveils its brand new rescue boat.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It is 6 a.m. We are halfway through the work week.
Yeah, it's going by fast.
It is. I know we've mentioned, I know you folks at home, you're probably like, oh my gosh, stop. But seriously, there are some of you who are probably sitting there still, third time mentioning, going, no, really, last week was so slow.
It's just like a snail.
It just drug on, and then we had severe weather in the middle of all of it. We had the time change. It just took forever. This week, though, flying by. Easter, not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yeah,
just hard to believe as well. Spring started yesterday. Is there anything else that's going to happen this month?
None that I can think of.
I certainly hope not. It's been a busy March. This is going to be the busiest March that we've had.
And March Madness,
March Madness. Thanks. That's what Trevor was trying to signal something, but I didn't know what that was. now we do. Shooting hoops.
Thanks, Trevor, for that.
Like, it's too early in the morning for that. We can't play charades at this time of day. Well, what we can do, though, is prepare you for your day. And as you get your day underway, it's going to be pretty decent. Let's take a quick look outside with our camera on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. Looking good. Still got a southerly breeze out there with some occasional gusts, but again, nothing quite like what we saw yesterday. We've got a nice view from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line. Folks getting their day underway. We do have a bit of a temperature disparity. The gap is closing a little, but we got 52 in Joplin, 44 in Pittsburgh. Earlier this morning, that gap was about 10, 11 degrees, and it's because of this. It's a weak little boundary, and you can kind of see the little curve in it right along Kansas-Oklahoma line and almost paralleling I-44. To the north, it's been a little cooler, low to mid-40s, and along and south of it, upper 40s and even a couple of low 50s here and there. And that little weak boundary is going to be the catalyst for a few isolated to very widely scattered showers or thunder showers. So nothing strong, nothing severe, but right along this zone and points south as we head into the afternoon. Between now and then, though, not bad out there. 47 when the kids get on the bus. Sunny, southwest breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And by this afternoon, partly cloudy, 69, and that wind shifts out in the northeast at 5 to 10. And we're looking at highs today. Most of us upper 60s, some of us, especially south of that boundary where it's going to be a pinch warmer, could go into the low 70s. We'll start to go partly cloudy this afternoon, and then after 4 or 5 o'clock along that boundary, a few showers, maybe an isolated thunder shower will be possible out there. We do have more rain chances on the way, and we're watching a system by next Monday, and we'll take a look at all of that in your full forecast a little later. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, President Biden and former President Donald Trump acquire even more delegates as they are declared the winners of the presidential primaries in Kansas. They had already clinched their bids for the nominations on Super Tuesday earlier this month. Officials say that's part of the reason why fewer than 100,000 voters in this state hit the polls by mid-afternoon. Another reason is the unusual election date for the state. It wasn't just the Sunflower State voting yesterday. Mr. Biden and Mr. Trump have also been declared the winners in Illinois, Ohio, and Florida. In the Sunshine State, Biden supporters didn't even have to go to the polls as Florida Democrats canceled their party's primary election and awarded President Biden their delegates. Jasper County is gearing up for the April 2nd election. The county performed the public test of their voting equipment yesterday, overseen by a bipartisan team. According to the county clerk, the testing is important to make sure people trust the equipment and the process. It's also a way to verify if the count is accurate.
I think the vast majority of the people understand and trust our election system, trust the machines, trust the process, but there are a few people that have questions. So the way that we solve that is we run a small election in the office during the public test. So that way we can make sure that the cards are programmed correctly, and when we tally the results, they're 100% correct.
Just wanted to see how it was done, and I did it for educational purposes. I've never seen this before, and I wanted to learn about it.
The testing with 72 sample ballots was done 3 times to ensure the electronic results match the hand counts. Jasper County recently purchased 58 voting tabulators, brand new machines that count the votes in a faster way compared to previous technology. Yesterday was also the first day for the no excuse absentee voting period in Missouri. For more election resources, go to KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. We might see some big changes on Interstate 44 if some Missouri lawmakers get their wish. The Missouri House Budget Chairman is proposing a $291 million project to rebuild portions of I-44, calling the project Forward 44. Phase 1 was replacing bridges on the interstate, and now representatives are proposing more phases to widen the interstate to 6 lanes, establish new interchanges at Junction I-49 and I-44, and improve infrastructure on rural roads. State representatives are hopeful the Missouri Senate and governor will approve the $291 million of funding for the next phases of the Forward 44 project in Jasper County.
Having those 2 major interchanges upgraded and having the capacity expansion in between, we think is really a well-targeted plan to hit the primary issues that are experienced by the local community while they're trying to get around, while freight is trying to move through the area itself.
Forward 44 is proposing projects spanning from St. Louis to the Oklahoma state line. The McDonald County, Missouri School District announces it will move to a 4-day school week next school year. The district's Board of Education voted on the move last night. They say it stems from a critical shortage of qualified teachers in the district schools, which they blame on higher salaries in Arkansas. The Newton County Sheriff's Department yesterday unveiled its new water rescue boat. It's for a new facet of the Sheriff's Department, the first ever water rescue team. The annual equipment fund paid for the boat, and a private donation covered the cost of all the gear for the 6 deputies on the team. The boat is dedicated to the memory of Brooke Robinson, a Joplin 7th grader who died on Shoal Creek in 2017.
Family of the victim, Brooke Robinson, was gracious enough to allow us to dedicate the boat to her memory. After all, her incident is what got us thinking about this boat and doing this. And sheriff's departments usually aren't a lot involved in water rescue efforts, but I don't like sitting on the sidelines.
Brooke's family was on hand to see the boat for the first time. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Actor Alec Baldwin was offered a plea deal in October 2023 that was abruptly withdrawn a week later. We'll have the details. Plus, Texas's consequential immigration law is once again on hold just hours after the Supreme Court said it could temporarily take effect. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Wednesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Frank here with Briggs & Fort Scott. It is truck month here in Chanute.
Topping Nation Watch this morning. Actor Alec Baldwin was offered a plea deal by New Mexico prosecutors in October 2023 that was abruptly withdrawn a week later. That's according to newly unsealed court documents. Baldwin is currently awaiting trial related to the 2021 death of a cinematographer on the Rust movie set. Baldwin's attorneys described the plea deal as being identical to the one given to the film's assistant director. Court records show Dave Halls was given a 6-month suspension sentence and placed on unsupervised probation for 6 months. A week after making the plea offer to Baldwin, prosecutors say there were certain facts learned about Baldwin that they say led to the offer being rescinded before it could be accepted. Actor Jonathan Majors is facing a lawsuit from his former girlfriend alleging that he physically and verbally abused her in a nearly 2-year relationship. A lawsuit filed Tuesday in a New York federal court accuses the former Marvel actor of battery, assault, intentional infliction of emotional distress, malicious prosecution, and a defamation. Majors' former girlfriend Grace Jabari filed the lawsuit. The legal action comes just months after Majors was found guilty of 1 count of reckless assault and a non-criminal charge of harassment after a domestic dispute in the spring of 2023. The lawsuit also alleges that Majors kept denying he committed acts of assault in public interviews even after being convicted. Dog owners, listen up. A parasite that's potentially deadly for your pets has been linked to cases out west. The parasite is a flatworm, commonly referred to as a liver fluke. It's behind the confirmed sicknesses of 10 dogs and the death of another over a time frame from 2018 to 2023 in California. The canines are from Los Angeles, Riverside, and Orange counties. Some of the symptoms include loss of appetite, vomiting, diarrhea, and signs of liver disease. The parasite is normally found in Texas and other Gulf Coast states. Scientists say last spring confirmed its discovery in California in the Colorado River to mark the first recorded appearance in the area. The Federal Trade Commission reports scammers are using the names of real FTC employees to bilk consumers. And these scams are costing more money. The average loss to FTC impersonators has gone up from $3,000 5 years ago to $7,000 today. The FTC says it will never contact consumers to demand money. The agency also never tells consumers to move money to protect it, tells them to buy gold bars or send them to a Bitcoin ATM. If anyone saying they work for the FTC asks you to do any of these things, it's a scam. Texas's consequential immigration law is once again on hold. Just hours after the Supreme Court said it could temporarily take effect, a federal appeals court issued a new order effectively blocking the law again. CBS News' Jared Hill is in New York with the latest.
This morning, Texas's sweeping immigration law is back on hold. Late Tuesday, a panel with the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals ordered SB 4 be paused yet again ahead of arguments this morning. The decision just hours after a divided U.S. Supreme Court said the law could temporarily take effect, urging lower courts to work quickly. SB 4 gives Texas law enforcement new powers to arrest, jail, and judges deport people accused of crossing into the state illegally.
So all Texas is going to be doing is basically enforcing the laws that were passed by Congress that Joe Biden is refusing to enforce.
The Biden administration argues SB 4 conflicts with federal immigration policy and says the law is, quote, another example of Republican officials politicizing the border while blocking real solutions, calling on Congress to pass a bipartisan Senate bill. As the Texas law works its way through lower courts, one local sheriff tells CBS News the state hasn't given guidance on how it should be enforced.
It's not like, oh, he looks illegal and we're going to put him in jail. We can't do that. You know, we can't stereotype someone, someone from Mexico and do that.
Tuesday, Mexican officials reiterated the country won't accept people the state tries to send back. The country's foreign affairs minister calling SB 4 an anti-immigrant, xenophobic, discriminatory law. A law that remains in limbo. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The Fifth Circuit Appeals Court is set to hear arguments on SB 4 this morning. Other states looking to follow in Texas's footsteps will be watching the outcome of this case closely. Tuesday, Iowa's State House gave final approval on a similar bill. It now goes to Republican Governor Kim Reynolds' desk. Now that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've actually got a couple of thunder showers that are just developing outside of our area, as you can see along I-35 and just west across parts of north central Oklahoma. As for us, though, we are dry and we are expected to remain that way as we go through the morning and into the afternoon hours. We shouldn't see really much of anything until we get into the evening hours, and even that is going to be isolated at best out there. Our camera 7th and range line looking pretty good so far this morning. As we head into the afternoon, temperatures upper 60s, maybe even some low 70s. Will start to go partly cloudy, and after 4, some of us could see a couple isolated showers or thunder showers. We'll have another complete look at your forecasts here in just a few more minutes on the KOAM Morning News.
Are you thinking about
spin on the Wheel of Fortune?
An expectant mother in Michigan shed tears at her gender reveal, but they weren't tears of joy. Her video has now gone viral and kicked off a fierce debate. Jeannie Moose explains why.
Gender reveals are usually a scream, a piece of cake, in this case pink, but there's something seriously revealing about this gender reveal. And the same Michigan mom's second, more somber one 2 years later. Autumn Freeman was temporarily crestfallen to learn she'd be having another daughter.
Simply just wanted to have a little boy and a little girl.
And while she hugged her husband... Did you actually cry?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I sobbed like people are acting like I was hysterical. Yes, I cried a little bit.
The technical term is gender disappointment.
That's actually sad.
Her husband pointed out.
We don't get to pick.
Autumn posted the two reveals one after the other on TikTok. Reaction was harsh. Imagine being their child and seeing this in the future. And I'm over here struggling to even get pregnant. Her second daughter isn't due till June, but Autumn already knows what she'll tell her when she grows up.
Initially, I was sad when I found out I was having a girl, but now I have you, and I love you so much, and I wouldn't trade you for the world.
Autumn says she's gotten lots of thank you messages from moms who have experienced gender disappointment, but were too embarrassed to admit it. After feeling low for a few days, Autumn bounced back and is now thrilled about the baby girl on the way, ready to re-experience the wonder Stevie Wonder sang about. Isn't she lovely? Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York. Isn't she wonderful?
I'm glad to see she's at least come around to the idea of having another little girl. And here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the commenter said, man, in this day and age, it will not take that child long to be able to find CNN and see that her mother was a little disappointed. Hey, but at least, she's figuring it out. It's still okay. Well, you're not going to be disappointed in our forecast. Got another pretty decent day out there. Well, another look at that when the KOAM Morning News returns.
At Kubota of Joplin, we're all about your lives.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:23, just a few seconds away from 6:24 on this Wednesday morning. Still got a southerly breeze out there with some occasional gusts, but again, nothing like yesterday. Otherwise, clear skies across the area. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking pretty good as well, as almost on cue. A few more cars on the road. There could be some cards on the road after the winds. You never know what blew out there. KDOT camera on 69 south of Pittsburgh also looking pretty good as well. We got a boundary out there that is going to allow for a couple of things. One, a bit of a contrast in temperatures. Not significant. I don't want anybody to think it's going to be like 20, 30 degrees cooler up here, but it's going to be a little cooler to the north of this boundary, a little warmer to the south, and it's going to parallel I-44 on the Missouri side and then line up with the Kansas-Oklahoma border on the west side, and it's going to give us some partly cloudy skies and then eventually give us an opportunity for some isolated showers, maybe a couple of thunder showers out there, so no strong or severe storms expected, but a couple of rumbles of thunder will be possible. However, most of us will remain dry. As we head into our Thursday, though, that changes a bit. We're going to have scattered showers and some thunder showers out there. So again, no strong or severe storms, anything like that. Majority of this activity will be along and to the south of Highway 54. That's not to say there won't be a shower or two north of that point. It's just most of the opportunities for showers and thunder showers will be south of 54, and it will last through the day, but these are going to be scattered. So it's not going to be an all-day rain event for those who see the showers, and it won't be expansive over the entire area. So we'll just get a few of these showers as we go through the day on Thursday, and then overnight we'll clear out for a moment, and then we've got an opportunity for some additional showers as we head into our Friday. 52 in Joplin right now, clear skies, south-southwest breeze at about 11 miles an hour, and temperature map gives a nice little idea as to where that boundary is with these little variances in temperatures right through here. So north of this boundary, we've got low mid 40s. Along and south of the boundary, it's mostly upper 40s and even a couple of low 50s out there. And so that's why I'm saying it's not going to be a huge contrast in temperatures between the boundary point here, north and south. Sunny to start our day. 62, south wind about 5 to 10. By this afternoon, it'll shift out of the northeast, but still about 5 to 10 miles an hour, so a manageable breeze. We'll start to go partly cloudy, but our highs today up upper 60s, and south of that boundary, we may see a few more low 70s out there, but most of us are going to make the upper 60s at least. So another very warm day across the area and just a wee bit above average out there. It will be partly cloudy through the evening, and again, for some of us, where we were talking about, a stray shower or thunder shower will be possible, and that will continue into the evening hours. We'll fall back to about 45 for our overnight low. A few more of those scattered showers and thunder showers on Thursday, mid-60s Thursday and Friday. A couple of isolated showers possible in the afternoon on Friday. We cool back in mid-upper 50s for the weekend. A few more shower chances on Sunday. We're watching a system on Monday bringing us more thunderstorm chances. We'll be mid-60s. That system is also going to be enough to kick us down a bit, down to 30 Monday night, 49 on Tuesday. We'll warm back up as we head to the second half of next week, and we're watching another system with some shower and thunderstorm chances heading into Easter weekend. That is a check of your forecast. Now here's Elise with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. A new study finds e-cigarette users experience similar changes to the DNA of certain cells as smokers. Researchers in London looked at e-cigarette users who smoked less than 100 traditional cigarettes in their lives. They say they saw genetic changes similar to the ones associated with the future development of lung cancer in smokers. Only a small fraction of eligible adults are being prescribed new medications to treat type 2 diabetes and weight loss. That's according to a new study from Johns Hopkins University. Researchers there say prescription rates are lower for Black adults and men overall. And for breast cancer patients whose disease has spread, a new study finds exercise can reduce pain, fatigue, and improve quality of life. Researchers in the Netherlands found the greatest improvement among patients under 50. Researchers aren't sure exactly why exercise helps with pain, but suspects it helps in reducing inflammation. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, the Kansas Technology Center at Pitt State yesterday received a brand new tractor.
And we've got ourselves a pretty decent start to the day, and we'll have a few rain chances, isolated chances as we head into the evening. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, some folks in Parsons, Kansas are waking up with toilets in their yard as part of a prom fundraiser.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:31. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner, and it is Wednesday.
Yes, it is. A nice Wednesday.
That's
so
not a
far,
bad Wednesday. Not bad at all, and it's we're halfway through the work week, which is great.
And it's feeling like it.
It is.
So it's great.
We talked about it before. We won't get into it again, but it is nice that this week is going by nicely. First day of spring was yesterday. We have Easter, not this weekend, but next. Is it? Yeah, next weekend.
2 weekends from now.
Yeah, so it's not this weekend,
so not
it's
this
the
weekend,
next one.
Weekend, yes.
Sorry, March is one of those odd months. It is a bit on the long side. There's some extra time.
Right,
in there,
yes.
it seems,
and Easter is the last day of March as well.
It is, and then we have April Fool's Day on a Monday.
My birthday. I'm not joking.
Are you sure?
I'm not joking.
All right. So we have an April Fool's baby, so
yes,
that means she's probably got something terrifying planned for us.
We'll have to wait and see.
I'll just be sick on that Monday. Well, in the meantime, I'm not sick now. It's not April Fool's Day yet. It's not Elisa's birthday yet. And therefore, we got to talk about that weather so you can get your day started. Because I know you're sitting at home going, let's get to it. Well, let's get to it. Let's look outside. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Looking pretty good so far this morning. We've got some temperature disparities. Now, earlier this morning, Pittsburgh and Joplin, it was about 10 to 12 degrees difference there. Its gap is closed a bit. 52 in Joplin, 45 in Pittsburgh, and we've got a weak boundary, and you can almost see it on the temperature map. Along and north of that boundary, it's a little cooler, low to mid 40s, and along and south of it, it's a little warmer as you go upper 40s, and we've even got a couple of low 50-degree readings out there. We're not going to have huge temperature differences today on the north and south side of this, but this weak little boundary setting up right where we figured it would, along I-44 in Missouri, and then the Kansas-Oklahoma border on the west side there, and it's going to be the catalyst for a few isolated showers or thunder showers later this evening. They're going to be very isolated at this point is the expectation. So not much going on, but we'll see some showers. 47 when the kids get on the bus. Sunny skies, southwest breeze about 5 to 10 miles an hour. By the afternoon, that wind shifts out of the northeast, still only 5 to 10, so better than where we were yesterday. Partly cloudy skies, 69 when that bus brings them home. And on the average, we're looking at highs into the upper 60s. And again, along and south of that boundary might be a little warmer into the low 70s. So again, not huge differences, but a pinch warmer down there. Partly cloudy skies by the afternoon, and then after about 4 or 5 o'clock along that boundary, a couple of isolated showers or thunder showers will be possible this evening into the overnight. We do have increasing shower chances as we head into our Thursday. We'll take a look at that and our weekend forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll check in with you in a bit, Chris. The Department of Commerce has accepted Kansas's digital equity plan. The Digital Equity Act is part of the Internet for All initiative, which grants funding to ensure that all people in communities have the skills, technology, and capacity needed to reap the full benefits of the digital economy. Kansas will use almost $700,000 from the grant program to address disparities in digital access, skills, and affordability across the state. The Kansas Technology Center at Pitt State yesterday received a brand new tractor. The tractor, a donation from a PSU alum, was used for students in the automotive tech program to learn about fluid power, advanced hydraulics, and diesel fundamentals. For the donor, Kelly Burgess, the tractor was a great way to give something back to his school.
In the back with a speed rower, so we're very excited, and it's actually one of the fun parts of the job is to be able to do such a donation like this and get to come back into our old stomping grounds and support the university again, because they certainly supported me when I was coming through these programs, and I'm very happy to support these programs now.
Case New Holland, the company that made the tractor, also recruits Pitt State students for internships and graduates for full-time positions. Well, some people in Parsons, Kansas are waking up with toilets in their yard. It's part of a fundraiser for the Parsons High School after prom event dubbed Project Prom. For $20, you can have a toilet placed in someone's yard. If it's in your yard, you can pay $20 to have it removed to someone else's yard.
Humbled by the support of the community here in Parsons. We've even had some people outside of the community, old high school members that have graduated, that have reached out to offer to help as well. So we're hoping to keep this going in the future. The plan is to build a solid foundation and hopefully within the years to come be able to hand it off to the next generation to move forward with great project proms.
They've raised $1,700 off the prom pooper alone. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. JetBlue Airways is eliminating a number of unprofitable routes and it's exiting 5 cities altogether. Plus, rain chances return for the next few days. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
In a new Toyota.
Hard to stop a train.
In Consumer Watch this morning, the Federal Reserve is meeting today to vote on whether to change interest rates. Chairman Jerome Powell is set to announce the decision this afternoon. Amy Kiley reports on what many investors predict he'll say and why.
It's not going to be clear when they will start.
But what is clear to many analysts is interest rate cuts probably won't start today. That's despite a meeting of the Federal Reserve.
I think Chairman Powell has said we may be getting to the point where we will cut, but of course he hasn't said when.
Meanwhile, the economy is doing fairly well. Wages are rising, making it easier to pay high prices. Unemployment is low and recession fears are easing. So when it comes to interest rate cuts, what's the holdup?
The Fed can control only what it can control. It cannot control global events.
Inflation's general path toward cooling has some speed bumps. Economists say the war in Ukraine continues to affect global oil and food markets. And companies say Mideast unrest makes it harder to get oil and other goods through the Red Sea.
Since October 7th, we've seen an increased cost in the shipping of goods again.
This economist also points to recent domestic issues like the auto workers' strike, government shutdown worries, and the Silicon Valley Bank collapse. Still, he says the economy is probably doing better than people think. Wall Street predicts interest rate cuts will happen sometime this summer. just not today.
Are things perfect? No. Are they better than what people are feeling? Yes.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Gas prices are now higher than they were 12 months ago. JetBlue Airways is eliminating a number of unprofitable routes and it's exiting 5 cities altogether. In the U.S., the company is pulling out of Kansas City, Missouri, and Newborough, New York. Outside of the U.S., the company is leaving Bogota, Colombia, Quito, Ecuador, and Lima, Peru. It comes just weeks after a federal judge blocked the company's planned merger with Spirit Airlines. In a statement, JetBlue said the removal of routes will reduce delays and free up aircraft to fly more profitable routes. Federal regulators are warning consumers to immediately stop using the 2 brands of water bead sets seen here because they contain a toxic substance. The toys have both been sold by Amazon. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says it's aware of at least 3 incidents where young children required surgery to remove the water beads after they were ingested. And Trader Joe's is recalling bags of roasted and salted whole cashews. It comes after at least 1 bag tested positive for salmonella. Though the FDA is not aware of any illnesses linked to the product, consumers are urged to throw the recalled cashews away or return them to Trader Joe's for a refund. Let the madness begin. The NCAA college basketball tournaments are about to kick off. They kicked off yesterday. And it's not just the men's game that will bring big audiences and big distractions this year. Karen Kefa looks at how the games could actually be a good thing for the workplace this year.
Get ready for a lot of college hoops.
The game has gotten so good. The players have gotten so good. The storylines have gotten so good. The coaches are amazing.
Meredith Geisler, visiting assistant professor of sport management at the George Washington University School of Business, is talking about NCAA women's basketball. She says it's all driving more interest than ever in the women's road to the Final Four.
It's all converged to make it so that women's college basketball and ultimately probably the WNBA as well has really emerged as a product that people want to see.
That means the potential for even more exciting games that can distract workers. Every March, outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas crunches the numbers on workplace productivity lost to games and brackets. Their 2024 estimate, $9.6 billion.
Whether they're researching and filling out brackets, they're organizing pools in their office, or they're actually live streaming those games during the workday, people are going to be doing a lot of not work over the next few weeks.
But Andy Challenger says the tournaments could also reap benefits for employers who have struggled with team building in an era of hybrid and remote work.
There's all sorts of ways you can get people engaged, and it's a really fun and easy way to engender a lot of camaraderie and morale.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kefa.
That's it for Consumer Watch. Now here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're taking a quick look outside from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. We are starting to get a little more daylight out there, and we've still got a bit of a southerly breeze and some occasional gusts, but again, it's a lot calmer than where we were yesterday. MoDOT camera 28th and range line looking pretty good as well as folks get their Wednesday underway. We're sitting at 52 in Joplin, 46 in Pittsburgh, and that's thanks to this weak little boundary. It's right along, almost right along I-44 and the Kansas-Oklahoma state line. So to the north, again, a little cooler, low to mid 40s, and then along and south of that boundary, just a little warmer, mid-upper 40s and a couple of low 50-degree readings out there. Kids getting on the bus today, 47, sunny skies, southwest breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. The wind will shift out of the northeast this afternoon, but still be 5 to 10. Partly cloudy skies when that bus brings them home, and we're sitting at 69 degrees, so not a bad day at all. We have another complete look at your forecast, including our shower chances today and tomorrow, as well as the weekend, and we're going to take a look at those birthdays and anniversaries. Those are coming up after the break, but first, let's see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
Hello to you, I'm Gail King. Coming right up on CBS Mornings, Grammy Award-winning rapper Lil Jon's going to join us right here live in studio. He's got a new album, which may not be what you expect. It is called Total Meditation. Yep, Lil Jon, Total Meditation. We'll talk about it coming right up on CBS Mornings.
Life's better when you're...
All right, time for those Wednesday birthdays here in the 4 states. We're starting in McCune with Riley Martin celebrating the big number 1. Happy birthday, Riley.
And a happy birthday to Elizabeth Falk in Pittsburgh, who's celebrating birthday number 10.
And in Oswego, we've got Nayeli Baldwin celebrating Sweet 16 today. Happy birthday.
And a happy birthday to Bram Bourne, who's turning 20 from Girard.
And in Humboldt, Melinda Seamster celebrating birthday number 25. Happy birthday, Melinda.
And a happy birthday to Tristan Nesbitt from Oswego, who's turning 26 today. It says, love your family.
And Jennifer Westervelt in Columbus celebrating another year wiser today. A very happy birthday to Jennifer.
Yes, and one of our own is also celebrating a birthday today. The J365 multimedia journalist Fernanda Silva, or Faye as we like to call her, is also celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to you, Faye.
All right, and we love the great work that she does for us every day. And we love celebrating birthdays and anniversaries. Elise, where do they need to send them?
You can go ahead and submit them to birthdays@koamnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those photos and messages and meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen.
Absolutely. You want to make sure you're celebrating at the right time. And today is the right time to enjoy another beautiful day, and you can do so without all the wind. This is a live look from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Take a look at the colors out there. Beautiful start to the day. A little warmer than where we were the other day as well. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking pretty good as folks get their Wednesday underway. And we're getting a little more daylight here on the KDOT camera on 69 just south of Pittsburgh as we are headed for another absolutely gorgeous day across the area. However, we could see a couple of isolated showers, maybe even a thunder shower as we head into this evening. We have a boundary, and it's going to be almost positioned right along or very close to I-44 in Missouri and then the Kansas-Oklahoma state line. And as we head into the evening, that could trigger a few showers and again, maybe a thunder shower or two out there. And through the evening, these are going to be relatively isolated out there. Most of us really won't see anything. At best, some of us might see a little bit of lightning off in the distance or see the rain off in the distance, but not actually get any storms. It will be tomorrow where we're going to see a few more opportunities for scattered showers out there on our Thursday. Now, these are also going to be scattered, and they're going to be primarily along and south of the Highway 54 corridor. But as you can see, there's going to be a few more of them than what we're expecting this evening. So again, they're still scattered, but there is a few more of them, and they're going to be with us throughout the day. So it won't be an all-day rain event. If you get rain, you may get that rain for an hour or two, and that's going to be all you get for the day. And then your neighbor might get rain later in the day for a couple of hours. And we could have a couple of rumbles of thunder out there. And that's the thunder shower part of this, where we're just getting some much needed rain for some of us and maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder here and there. But as you see, these also persist through most of our Thursday. And we'll go into the overnight. We'll actually clear out a bit Thursday night into Friday morning. And we'll have additional chances for some showers, at least isolated ones on our Friday. Right now in Joplin, take a look. Another beautiful view of those colors from our camera at 7th and range line. 52 in Joplin, south-southwest breeze at 11, and the temperature map gives you a good idea as to about where that boundary is, because we're a little cooler up north, low to mid 40s out there, and then along and south of this point, a little warmer, mid upper 40s, and again, a couple of low 50-degree readings out there as well. We get our morning started looking pretty good, sunny. We'll have that south-southwest breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, so much more manageable for us. And we'll be right about 62 by 11 o'clock this morning. We've got a fairly warm day ahead of us. It's going to be pretty nice. We're going to talk about that warm day and how our weekend is shaping up as well here in just a moment. And when we make the switch over to Fox 14, which, by the way, that happens at 7 a.m., we're going to hear how several high school students from California made national headlines for their documentary on gun violence in America.
9% when you reboot your ride.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. President Biden and former President Donald Trump collect more delegates as they are declared the winners of the presidential primaries in Kansas. They already clinched their bids for the nominations on Super Tuesday earlier this month. Voter turnout was low due to both candidates already securing their nominations and the unusual date for voting. And Jasper County performed a public test of their voting equipment yesterday, overseen by a bipartisan team. According to the county clerk, the testing is important to make sure people trust the equipment and the process. It's also a way to verify if the count is accurate. The brand new machines can count the votes in a faster way compared to previous technology. And the Missouri House Budget Chairman is proposing a $291 million project to rebuild portions of I-44, calling the project Forward 44. Phase 1 is replacing bridges on the interstate. Representatives are proposing more phases to widen the interstate to 6 lanes, establish new interchanges at junction I-49, I-44, and improving infrastructure on rural roads. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
All right, for today, we're looking at highs upper 60s. Some of us could even go low 70s out there. We'll start to be partly cloudy this afternoon. And as we discussed, a few of us may see a couple of isolated showers or thunder showers through the evening and into the overnight hours. We'll fall back into the mid 40s. We'll have a few more of those scattered showers and thunder showers tomorrow, mid 60s tomorrow and Friday. A little cooler this weekend, more showers Sunday, watching thunderstorm chances on Monday. Much cooler Tuesday. Be prepared for that. We'll warm back up by the second half of next week and watching another system with showers and storms as we head into Easter weekend.
Nothing too serious, it seems like, with those showers, because we certainly still need some rain in parts of our area.
We absolutely need some rain, and at least we're going to get a little more over the next couple of days.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Chris. And coming up today at noon, we're making coconut-crusted pork chops in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. UConn is the favorite to win this year's men's NCAA tournament. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Jan Crawford talks with UConn head coach Dan Hurley about trying to be the first team to win back-to-back titles in 17 years.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Jasper County election officials are gearing up for their April elections with some new counting equipment.
Plus, cast members from the production of Biloxi Blues going to join us in the studio, tell us what we can expect from the show. And you know, I'm having a little trouble with my vision, but I swear I saw Robert Downey Jr. in the hall.
Oh, did you now?
I think so.
We've got a celebrity in the house.
I think we do.
Maybe they'll be joining us on Fox 14. You should stop by
we'll
and check
have
to see.
I couldn't tell for sure. I mean, he's down the hall a bit.
Oh, you're bad, Chris. You're bad.
It's difficult to tell for sure. But that's going to wrap it up for us for now. We will see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.